Hello and welcome to Hendricks How-Tos. I'm Jody Kaylor, and today I'll be speaking with you about what happens in a relationship when you go from ease and flow to uh-oh. I've got 3 questions you can play with if you find yourself in that situation. So first, let's talk about relationship. What do I mean? Yes, it could be a romantic relationship, but it could also be a relationship with your child, your parent, your paddleball group, any number of people, or yourself. You can also be in relationship to time, money, sex, food, cigarettes, drugs, anything. So bear that in mind when you go from ease and flow to uh-oh. And ask yourself these 3 questions. What feeling hasn't been felt here? What truth has not been expressed? And what agreement or commitment has not been kept? I'll give you some examples. When it comes to people, think of partner A and B, a couple, romantic couple. They go to a party. They have their experiences. They come back to the car and they leave to go home. And person A says, well, you sure spent a whole lot of time talking to person C over there. You were laughing up a storm and having a lot of fun, and I wasn't having very much fun at this party. So what's presenting is anger. And bear this in mind, often the first emotion, feeling that gets presented can be a jacket emotion over what's really going on. So the feeling that's really not being felt there is fear, in my example. Fear. And the truth that's not being expressed is, when I saw you talking to person C, I felt scared. I thought, what if you like somebody better than me and you leave? I'm scared of abandonment. And that's a very different interaction from blame, you did something wrong, it's your fault, you made me upset. It's like, oh, let's discover what's really going on here. Was there an agreement not kept? Maybe. Maybe they had agreed to check in with each other every 20 minutes to see how it's going, and they didn't do that. Could be any number of things. Let's try an example where you're committing to yourself. A smoker has said, this is my last cigarette and I want to quit. A person says, I want to lose 75 pounds and no more sugary desserts. But then it's his birthday at the office, somebody brings a big cake and he has some cake. Or the smoker gets bad news and she lights up to deal with it. So this is a commitment and then a drift from that. And that leads to the question of, first, what am I feeling about that? It could be anger. I can never do what I say I'm going to do. It's hard. Or maybe it's a sadness. This is too hard. I can't do this. So what feeling is not being felt? What feeling can I look at if I drift in that way, away from my commitment to myself? What truth hasn't been expressed? Well, maybe the smoker got an ultimatum and is quitting against her will. She said, okay, I'll quit, but didn't really want to. So maybe the feeling is resentment, and the truth may be, I don't want to. And maybe the dieter says, I really do want to lose the 75 pounds. And so I'm going to recommit and not have the sugary desserts. So you have your choice. Feel what's the truth, what's really there, what is the commitment that you want to make or not. It's not so much about the drifting, the shift, but shifting. How quickly can I shift back to what I really want? Maybe you know this fun fact, maybe not. But airplanes, let's say a flight takes off from New York heading for London, they drift with their whole systems of flight patterns. They drift, they shift, they drift, they shift, and they get to London by being off course 90% of the time. So I take that as an opportunity to be kinder to myself when I drift from what I say I want to do or say that I won't do. And I invite you to aim for ease and flow and take an opportunity when you hit the uh-oh for the 3 questions. What feeling has not been felt here? What truth has not been expressed here? And what agreement or commitment has been broken? Thank you for joining me today. See you next time here on Hendricks How-Tos.